Hello everyone, welcome back to Surmount SAT Prep. Today we're going to tackle Chapter 8 of the exercises of more equation solving strategies. So let's go right ahead. Question 1. If 2x plus 3ax minus 5 is equal to 12x squared plus bx minus 15 for all values of x, what is the value of b? So simply what we can do here is to solve this portion of the equation that we got. So let's just expand this. So if you have 2x plus 3ax minus 5, we can multiply by foiling. So we'll get 2ax squared plus, and then we can do this side, 3ax, and then negative 10x, and negative 15. And that will be equal to 12x squared plus bx minus 15. And now what we can do is, okay, so I forgot an a here. And then now we can group these to be more simplified. So 2ax squared, what's the common variable between 3ax and negative 10ax? We can separate it by x. So we can rewrite this as 3a minus 10x minus 15, and this kind of correlates to the equation that we've got from here, which is 12x squared plus bx minus 15. And if you compare both sides, 2a will be equal to 12, and b will be equal to 3a minus 10, which will give us 3a is equal to b plus 10. And b is equal to, since b is equal to 3a minus 10, a will be equal to 6. And b is equal to 3 times a, 6 minus 10 is equal to 8. So the answer should be b. Question 2. If x plus 3y squared is equal to x squared plus 9y squared plus 42, what is the value of x squared y squared? So again, what we can do here is to expand the left side, which will get x plus 3y multiplied by x plus 3y. And if you follow this out, we're going to get x squared plus 6xy plus 9y squared. And that's equal to x squared plus 9y squared plus 42. And we can simplify by crossing out the common variables. And this will lead us to have 6xy is equal to 42. And then we divide by 6 on the right side, we'll get xy is equal to 7. And since xy is equal to 7, we're trying to find the squared value of x squared y squared. We can just square this side, both of these sides. So x squared y squared is equal to 49. So the answer is 49. Question 3. If a plus b, ab plus a over b is equal to ab plus 5 for all values of b, what is the value of a? Okay. So what we can do here is to multiply both sides by b to make this equation more simpler. And by doing so, we get ab plus a is equal to a plus 5b. So we are essentially canceling out the b, because we don't like variables on the denominator. And by doing this, we can slowly collect these to get ab is equal to 5b, because the a's will cancel out. And since ab is equal to 5b, a will be equal to 5, because the b's will cancel out. So the answer is 5. Question 4. If 1 over x minus 1 over x minus 4 is equal to 1, what is the value of x? So essentially what we can do here is to multiply both sides by x times x minus 4, because we essentially want to get rid of this denominator. So we're just multiplying both sides by this. And by doing so, we'll get x minus 4 minus x is equal to, since we're multiplying this to 1, we will just get x minus 4 And if we rewrite this, we'll get negative 4 is equal to x squared minus 4x. Thus, 0 is equal to x squared minus 4x minus 4. And what we can do here is we can rewrite this equation as 0 is equal to x minus 2 squared. And by doing so, we know that x must be equal to 2. So the value of x is 2. If n is greater than 0, if n is less than 0 and 4x squared plus mx plus 9 is equal to 2x plus n squared, what is the value of m plus n? So what we can do here is again expand on the right side, and by doing so we'll get 4x squared plus mx plus 9 is equal to 4 x squared plus 4nx plus n squared. And if we compare both sides, we can see that 9 is equal to n squared. So we can write 9 is equal to n squared, and also m is equal to 4n. Thus, what we can do is we can find the value of n, which will be equal to negative 3, and m will be equal to negative 12, because 4 times negative 3 is equal to negative 12. So we need to find m plus n, which is essentially negative 12 plus negative 3, which will give us negative 15, so the answer is A. Question 6, if 1 over x plus 1 over y is equal to 1 over p, what is x in terms of p and y? So again, let's get rid of the denominator, and how do we do that? We multiply both sides by x, y, p. By doing so, we'll get yp plus, because the x's will cancel out, and then we'll get xp is equal to xy. And now let's separate this so we can further simplify. So we can see that they both share x. So we can write this as yp is equal to x, y minus p. And since we're trying to find x in terms of p and y, we can move this along and divide by y minus p. So we'll get yp over y minus p is equal to x. So the answer should be D. Question 7. In the equation above, a and b are integers. If the equation is true for all values of x, what are the two possible values of c? So let's write this equation and let's solve. So let's just FOIL out this part first. So we'll get 6x squared plus 3ax plus 2bx plus ab, and that will be equal to the equation on the right, 6x squared plus cx plus 7. And like we did before, what we can do is we can simplify this equation by 6x squared plus 3a plus 2b, and they both share an x, plus ab is equal to 6x squared plus 6cx plus 7. And we can see that 3a plus 2b must be equal to c, and ab is equal to 7. And we know that c is equal to 3a plus 2b, which in this case would be 3 times 7 plus 2 times 1 and that will be equal to 23. And this is possible because the possibilities for a would be equal to 1 or 7, and b must be equal to 7 or 1. And because 3a plus 2b is equal to c, we can find out the value of c, which is 3 times 1 plus 2 times 7 is equal to 17. So since we can have these two possible values for a and b, the answer should be 23 and 17, which is D. Let's move on to question 8. In the equation above, m is a constant and x cannot be equal to negative 1 over 2. What is the value of m? So here, all we can do is, again, multiply both sides by the denominator to get rid of it. So we'll get 12x squared plus mx plus 23 is equal to 6x 2x in brackets negative 18, 2x plus 1 plus 41, because 2x plus 1 and 2x plus 1 cancels out. And then we can rewrite this 12x squared plus mx plus 23 is equal to 12x squared plus 6x minus 36x minus 18 plus 41. And if you rearrange this, we get 12x squared plus mx plus 23 is equal to 12x squared minus 30x plus 23. And we can see mx is equal to negative 30x, mx is equal to negative 30x, so m must be equal to negative 30. So the answer is C. In the equation above, k is a constant. If the equation is true for all values of x, what is the value of k? So again, what we can do here is to expand the left side. If we do so, we'll get x to the power 4 plus kx squared, because we're foiling, negative 3x minus 2x to the power of 3, negative 2kx squared plus 6. And we can further rewrite this as x squared plus k minus 2x cubed minus 2kx squared minus 3x plus 6. And if we compare this to the equation on here, and they both are equal, we can see that k minus 2 must be equal to 7, and negative 2k is equal to negative 18. Thus, k is equal to 9. So the answer is 9. Question 10. 3 over n minus 1 plus 2n over n plus 1 is equal to 3. If n is greater than 0, for what value of n is the equation above true? Okay. So what we can do here is, again, multiply both sides by the common denominator, which in this case is negative n minus 1 and n plus 1 multiplied by together. And if we do so, we'll get 3n plus 1 plus 2n multiplied by 2n minus 1 2n times by n minus 1. And that will be equal to 3n minus 1 n plus 1. And now all we can do here is to just expand. 3n plus 3 is equal to plus 2n squared minus 2n is equal to 3. And we can simplify this to n squared minus 1. And if we solve, we will get 2n squared plus n plus 3 is equal to 3n squared minus 3. Okay, now let's set all of those into one side. So let's move all of these and subtract. So we get 0 is equal to n squared minus n minus 6, which will be equal to, we can factor this out, to n minus 3 and plus 2. So n is equal to 3 or negative 2, but in this case we have to find out the value of n so that it's greater than 0, so the only plausible answer is n is equal to 3. Let's move on to the two last questions. What is one possible solution to the equation 12 over x plus 2 minus 2 over x minus 2 is equal to 1? So again, what we've known to do is to multiply by the common denominator, which in this case is x plus 2, x minus 2. So let's multiply both sides by x plus 2 and x minus 2, which will lead us to get 12 x minus 2 minus 2 x plus 2 is equal to x plus 2, x minus 2. And here we get 12x minus 24 minus 2x minus 4 is equal to, here we can simplify this as x plus x squared minus 4. And if we subtract 12x by 2x, we get 10x, and then if we subtract negative 24 by negative 4, we get negative 28. And that's equal to x squared minus 4. And let's set that up to one side. We'll get x squared minus 10x plus 24 is equal to 0. Thus, we can rewrite this as x minus 6, x minus 4 is equal to 0. So the possible solutions are 4 when x is 6, or 6. So you can write any of those. So just choose one, and that's the answer. Moving on to the last question. If x is greater than 1, what is the solution to the equation above? Okay. So what we should notice is that x minus 1 times x plus 1 is equal to x squared minus 1. So it's easy to see that we can multiply both sides by x minus 1 and x plus 1. And by doing so, we'll get 4x plus 1 plus 2x minus 1 is equal to 34, because both of these cancel out. And then we can expand. We get 4x plus 4 plus 2x minus 2 is equal to 35. And then we get 6x plus 2 is equal to 35. And 6x is 33. So x is equal to 33 over 6. We can further simplify this as 11 over 2. So that's the answer for question 12. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next chapter.